Live. We are talking today about why going it alone in a health and weight loss journey can backfire on you. Now, I am going to be checking over here because Spaghetti is like trying to get into some flowers and whatnots. I should have been to show you. Look at this. This cat is like being crazy. Spaghetti! Anyway, but I don't want to be late, so we're going to talk about this, and she's going to do her thing, and hopefully, like, she'll find something else to be bothered with. It's not me. Okay, I feel a little discombobulated today. I just started my cycle. I feel like today's just like meh, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be okay because I'm going to refocus. If you're new here, welcome. This is not a good first impression. My name is Renee Paulson. I'm a recovering food and sugar addict and also a healthy living and nutrition coach. I struggled with my weight hardcore for years and was very much addicted to food and sugar, and now I have a cat here on the desk. Until I figured out that I was addicted to food and sugar and really started to develop tools on how to get healthy, lose weight, have moderation, and basically just heal along the way. And now I help other women do the exact same thing. So today we're talking about why going it alone can backfire. And actually, any other time, because I, dieted, throughout my life because I always wanted to lose weight. I was always, heavy. I really struggled with my weight. And then very much so after both my kids were born, I had postpartum depression. Spaghetti, you are very distracting. Go over there. She wants a cameo. Anyway, so I lost her train of thought. Postpartum depression after both kids, definitely struggled with my weight, and especially after my son was born. I mean, I wore my pregnancy jeans for a solid 2 years after he was born. I didn't wear pants with buttons. Pants with buttons also can sometimes be overrated, but I have found that pants with buttons for ADHD people, or at least myself, pants with buttons makes me more productive. Sometimes. Not today, I don't know. But on any other, trying to lose weight or anything, I did try to usually go it alone. There was several times when I was like, let's do these things as a group. Shh, Spaghetti. I'm sorry. And the last job I think I worked out of the house when Vinny was really, really little. I tried to do a weight loss competition as a group. And I had to get everybody's weight, and this sounds very judgmental, but I worked with a woman who I had viewed as, maybe a little heavier than me. I think when you're heavy sometimes, and obviously you don't look at mirrors. I didn't look at a mirror. I didn't even have a full-length mirror in my house for years. So I wasn't looking at myself, and I thought, she was heavier, and I gathered all the weights, and I was the heaviest one, even out of the men, and I was like, whoa. So I always tried, to say, okay, I need to lose weight, and I always wanted to, but just never could stick to it. And this last time, obviously, when I made these massive changes, and really instead of going on a diet, it was really about health and focusing on how I wanted to feel and changing lots of things and learning new tools and healing lots of past traumas and all of those other things. Lots of work happened in the background. To come to bring the tools to you now. There's lots of work in the background. But I actually didn't do that journey on my own. It was my husband and I that did that together. And more like he was the driving force, I was the one pulled, kicking and screaming. Isn't that ironic? Because I was just he's like, we need to be healthy. And, and it wasn't more about losing weight. He wanted to lose weight, and it wasn't you need to lose weight. It was I want to be healthy. And really, my car accident had just happened, and so that was very fresh on our minds, and that was the difference in the journey. But again, we did that together, and now we have a healthy lifestyle together. It wasn't just, I need to lose weight, and then my husband eats whatever he wants, and I know that can be the case a lot of times. And let me just tell you that I don't know how that would work. I mean, I am a very headstrong person, so I need that extra layer of accountability. I need to do it. We have to be a team unit in this house. It's not well, you get to eat garbage and whatever. Now, there is occasions right now my husband's doing a full round of 75 hard, which means for 75 days you don't get any treats. This is a very extreme version. It is not for weight loss. That whole journey is something completely different. I don't do 75 hard, so if you want to look at what that is and what that means, you can actually follow him on Instagram because he's talking about his journey with that. at official Stephen Paulson. I'll actually link it here so you can go check it out. But for him, it's not. It is about health because he's going to hit 40 in the he wants to hit 40 in the best shape of his life. But I think more it's just that resiliency and mental toughness. So I'm going to let him do all the talking about that. But he gets no treats for 75 days. I don't subscribe to that newsletter. No. So, but what I really want to focus on is when we try, why we're trying to do it alone most of the time. And a lot of times we try to do our health and weight loss journey alone because we feel embarrassed, we feel shameful. We don't want to tell them. First of all, asking a woman what she weighs, go ask a woman right now what she weighs, and she's going to nicely, she'll be like, what are you asking me that for? And not so nicely, she's going to tell you to go F yourself. Like, that's just, I mean, also not nicely, she could smack you. I don't know. Women can sometimes, that's a harsh subject. So we do it out of shame because we don't, we can say, oh, we gained so much weight. And, we can see it around our midsections, especially women, once we start to hit towards our 40s. I am now starting to hit perimenopause. I'm noticing perimenopause symptoms, especially sleep disturbances and things like that. So I know now I have to be very diligent and look at my nutrition as also medicine to help my body get through those and mitigate factors. But when we're doing it alone as women, it's because we're embarrassed. And we're, we don't want to tell anybody what we weigh and how much we want to lose. And like, we want to come out as this bright, shining thing. And people see this and you see the bright, shining thing, but you don't see the hot mess that came up behind it. And there was a whole big part of that. And the hardest part, I think, women, when we try and go at it alone, it's a health and weight loss journey, is that we're like, I'm going to figure this out, right? We're women. We are the queens of figuring it the F out all the time. That's what we do, right? But let me tell you this, okay? On a health and weight loss journey, because I did this many times, and I just want to save you the frustration. And also, this is also the best business advice that I've ever given. Not given, but gotten. But sometimes when you're lost in the sauce, you need to invest in yourself to get help. You need to find someone to help you. And yes, that could be an accountability partner, but if you're really struggling or you're like, maybe I should do keto, your body needs carbs. I don't subscribe to that newsletter either. But, if you're like, oh, I should try this diet, First of all, it's not a diet. You've got to shift that mindset. And if you don't know how to really build a healthy lifestyle, it's going to be for not just only you, but also your family. Tracking children. I'm still finding my days on this now. Not really my daughter, but son so much because we're lazy people. We like to sit, so it's just getting that motivation. But if you don't know how to build that or how to incorporate that, then that means that you need to find somebody that's going to be able to help you. And if that person is, you invest in yourself. A lot of people with business, they're like, oh, I'll just try and figure it out myself. Could you figure it out yourself? Yeah. But it could take a whole lot longer and a whole lot more frustration and tears and just like giving up. So this is a whole like fucking commercial about hiring a coach. I believe in coaching. Obviously, I'm a coach, but you need to find someone that they know what the F they're talking about and they're actually going to fucking help you. Because if you're not struggling on your own, this is why it can backfire on you, because you can go at it alone and then you just feel, especially if you have a family who's already finding, because kids are going to be like, we're going to eat it, right? It just feels like you're like fighting against the current constantly, always. And you hit a point and everybody hits a point. There's an actual like scientific term. I'm probably going to get the scientific term wrong, but like basically your, I wouldn't say willpower, but decision making or whatever, you have to do. That is not a scientific term. So we're not going to get it, but a roundabout where you're making those decisions, especially if you have to like debate with your kids on things because they do that all the time. Eventually your willpower at the end of the day is like, it's like there. And so you're sitting there chilling, finally watching TV or whatever, and you see a piece of commercial and that you see that cheesy pull and you're like, I'm going there. Right? If you don't have anybody there to stop you, or you don't have a coach where you can text and be like, yo, I'm about to go order some pizza, then you are going to probably leave a lot of the time. It's going to be that struggle. But that's why going out alone, it feels like going upstream, like trying to swim upstream in this current and you're about to drown, like water's gushing in, and it's just like enough already. And that's why, number one, I believe in coaching, but also number two, you've got to have a support system around you. And that means that, I never had really good female friends when I was growing up. I moved around a lot. Girls were always very catty. That was my impression, and that's where I looked, and that's what I got. Now, I have some amazing women friends that are so awesome. They're not catty. They wish best for me, but that did not happen by accident. I built that. I picked people and put in the time with people in relationships that I knew were going to be, I don't want to say beneficial, but I'm going to give to them, they're going to give back, and it's going to be a beneficial relationship that's supportive, that's helping, that they're not going to try and show me to go, drink a chocolate fountain on a Sunday brunch, but they still understand and have that healthy lifestyle. Building that support system around you is so crucial. And for women, I would have told you 10 years ago that, that'd be great, but maybe it's not, it doesn't always have to be that way. But now, and especially heading towards my 40s, getting a really good group of women, even if it's a small, my grandmother used to always say, God, I did meet her, but she died when I was 6 months old. But she used to tell my mom that then this got passed down. If you count your good friends on one hand, then you're very lucky. And that's very true. If you can count, and my husband is one of those, like he's one of those that he has built that support system, but building also those other women, because yes, your husband is great, but also like he's not going to understand certain things, like, I don't know, perimenopause, and like I'm seriously feel like I'm having a hot flash right now. My whole neck just like started to heat up. I don't get that. Like, you're not understanding it. And they're just like, you don't eat the pretzel. It's like, listen, you don't understand the visceral fat situation when you have hormones and the whole shebangy bang. So that's the difference when you have a support system, is you can go and you can vent to your girlfriends, and they can be like, hey, I heard that if you add a teaspoon of turmeric to your diet every day, that's going to really help that. You can vent to me how much your husband loves, but I'm going to also keep you on track. I'm not going to be like, hey, let's go eat a tub of ice cream. Sometimes there's some time for that. But a good friend and a good support system, they know the time for that, right? So it's really, like I keep saying, because I've tried to do it alone and obviously failed so many times because it just feels impossible. And then let's say, okay, we're going into the holiday season, right? Right now, in September. It's not even, I feel like my neck is, can you even see how red that got? See it? Look at, this is my, but look how white it was. At least I'm not sweating. Oh, all right, I totally lost my train. We're going into the holidays, right? We're going to the holidays where you're going to have parties that you're going to want to go to. Now, a lot of people struggle with, because you're going into the holidays, you're going to have a lot of parties to go to. Let's say you have 3 or 4 parties a week, and there's going to be alcohol there, or, serve treats and this and blah, 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 blah. You have a support group that keeps you on track, that helps you, that says, what's the plan? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to cook and bring. Here's what I'm going to prepare. It's just really helpful to bounce ideas off people, to share with other people what you're struggling with. Because I think in especially today's social media world, that we're so used to people feeling like they have it all together, and that's the way it really is, and so we're afraid to tell people what we're really struggling with. Maybe also like women, we don't feel like burdening other people because we're like, oh, they already got their own shit going on, and I don't want to burden them. But what I find is that, number one, when you tell a woman what you're struggling with, that you disarm her, because she's like, oh my God, really? And most of the time, I'm like, holy shit, I'm struggling with that too. I got a text message from a friend last night. She was like, I kind of listened to my son last night with a big fight, and I feel really bad about it. I was like, me too. I did the exact same thing. We're going together. It's okay. You're not a mom. You're a human being. You're struggling with your own shit. That's okay. That makes you a person. So that's our therapy session for today. Having a support group really, really does make a difference in a health and weight loss journey, and even just in life in general. Like, we're not supposed to, first of all, my belief system is that we're not supposed to live in like things like this. You're supposed to have a nice, tight-knit community, a tribe of people that you have in your life, that you care for them and they care for you, and you care for your kids if they got it. They care for your kids, and you share what you're struggling, and you share your highs and you share your lows, and you work through shit together. You work through shit together as warrior women, as tribe members. It's just going through life. Like, yes, health and weight loss. As women, we have so much more on our plate that we stress about, and this has a huge contributing factor to food addiction. That newest study that's coming, I think it's out of the University of Miami, I have to look at it, but that we really struggle with that emotional aspect of eating. We're trying to numb all, we have stress. We're stressed. We feel much pressure. When you're supposed to be a Pinterest mom, you're supposed to throw all these parties and do all these things and blah, 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 blah. Even like Friday, Saturday, Bella, my daughter, went to her homecoming dance. She's a freshman. Okay? It's the first homecoming. Like, have a barbecue, eat a hot dog, and go to the dance and come home, right? Right? That's what I was thinking. No! All these moms freaking go out. They had steak, they had lobster, a whole freaking course meal. They had a professional photographer. Why do we put so much pressure and stress on ourselves? And then we feel pressure and stress on ourselves to look and be healthy and fit in this perfect mold and whatever. It's just like, enough. Like, you're not supposed to fit in a mold. And if things don't feel good to you, then do them. And like, take a little bit of stress and take some time for yourself to take care of yourself first. It's like on the airplane. Put your mask on yourself before you have others. I don't do that. You tell people that. Tell a mom that all day. I want to see a plane going down and a mom put it on herself and did. I don't know. I would probably hold my breath like an idiot, right? No, you put it on yourself, then you can help others. So, if you don't have good tribe women to help you in supporting you on your health and weight loss journey, I'm going to invite you to number one free group, the Warrior Tribe, on my website that you can also join. I'll put a link there. But you can also join Warrior Women Up for Health and Weight Loss, which is also my other free group. I do confessions of a food and sugar on every other Thursday. So we're doing that this Friday, this Thursday evening, talking about childhood obesity and food addiction. What we're with, which that was a huge guilt struggle for me as a mom, and still is. So you have to tune in because I've been going through there's shit lately with my kids, and it's just like, woo-wee. But we're gonna do it in the private group. So I will invite you to join the Warrior Tribe and private Facebook group. I appreciate you being here. Don't go it alone, and going alone on a health and weight loss journey or anything in life. A lot of times, and I know because I'm a Virgo, I feel like I can only do it by myself, and I feel that sometimes I put I don't say faith, but whatever, in like other people, that I get disappointed a lot. But I just have the expectation I would have for myself. So don't have expectations like that. Just accept people and what they're struggling with, and realize that every person is a human being, and they can be going through some shit that you have no idea about. So be kind. Come join me. That's where you belong. I love you, buddy. I literally feel like I'm so red. The whole area is so red. So I'm gonna like fan myself. I'm really surprised I'm not sweating. That's crazy. Not right armpit. I don't think so. That's the win. I gotta have the sweating. It's okay. You know why? Maybe because I'm adding a little tumor in my cake every day. Because I follow this chick on Instagram. She's OBGYN. Well, I should also link her. What's her name? Mary something. She's Galveston diet on TikTok, I think, mostly. Like, posts on Instagram. And she does all the things perimenopause, and that's who I'm also looking for. She does stuff about nutrition, which is how you want to really come to this. Also HR, but I'm not there yet. I'm in research mode. So that was my goal. I think you just were also part of my therapy. I love you so much. I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Health class and life, you don't have to go alone. Got your back. I'm here. Be besties. I love you bunches. I hope that you have a great afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you. Bye bye.